Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome to Homeland Heroes Salute podcast with your hosts Doug Macedo and Jim Roberg.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to another episode. I'm your host Doug, and today we've got a special guest with us. We've got Tugboat Manny. But before I get this going with him and the ball rolling, I want to give a big shout out to all my sponsors and supporters, as well as all the viewers that watched last episode. Again, I want to thank everybody with that. All the sponsors and supporters, I want to thank LVJ Trailers in Northwark, Massachusetts. I want to thank Kyle with them. I want to also say thanks to Cornerstone Bank for their generous donations as well. I want to give a big shout out to also Veteran Development Corporation. Mark has been an absolutely proud supporter with us and definitely helping us out with everything. I want to give a shout out to Larry's Landscape Supply in Charlton, Mass. He's been definitely a proud supporter. One of the two biggest supporters that have been with me since day one is Reed's Archery in Middleborough, Massachusetts. Check them out. Chris is a great individual. He definitely is a proud supporter of veterans, as well as Wendy with Big Belly Cafe and located in Webster, Massachusetts. You want the kitchen sink, you want everything, she's got it. She's got the best meals out there. Check them out. It is called the Kitchen Sink, and it's a kitchen sink for a reason. You will be going home with definitely leftovers. You will not be leaving there starving. But check them out. Big Belly Cafe, located in Webster, Massachusetts. Now on to everything else. Here we are with Tugboat Manny. Man, it's I've been reading up a lot about you, and you bet you were a naval reservist, and all this. I want you to give me the background of you, man. Tell me everything that we can just know about you, man. It's just an honor to have you on.
Oh, thank you. It's an honor to be on your show, to be talking to someone who helps out so many different veteran causes and organizations. It's awesome. I love it. I just did I performed out at Camp Potatuck in Center Mauritius a few weekends ago for it's called the Joseph P. Dwyer Association, and it's the Peer Project, and it was for the Day of Wellness for veterans and families, and they had different tables set up from all different veteran organizations. They had massage chairs, they had holistic things, they had a lot of different events throughout the whole day, and then at the end of the day they have me perform, and it's so awesome to perform for fellow veterans and families, and to add a little piece to this beautiful day, of
Absolutely.
making people smile and laugh. Yeah. So I love it. I absolutely love it. I do a lot of veteran events, locally,
Yeah.
and it's all clean shows,
Yeah.
and for the most part I insinuate a little bit, but if there's children around I won't insinuate,
Yeah.
so.
No,
But
no.
I do say I'm a Naval Reserve veteran, and during the Gulf War era, and I tell when I perform, I say, "Have you guys heard of Naval SEAL Team 6?" And whatever they say, I say, "Yeah, I have nothing to do with them. I was I was actually part of Walrus Team 7. We did a lot of secret missions at buffets." So that breaks the ice a little bit. But I was a naval striker for General Corpsman duties out of Jacksonville, Naval Hospital at Jacksonville. I
Yeah.
never went to corpsman school, but they put me in with a corpsman unit. So that's what I did a lot of my drilling at, 2 weeks, and my weekend, 1 weekend a month and stuff like that. So
Nice.
that doing basically doing physicals,
Yeah.
for everybody, for not me doing the whole physical, me
Yeah.
doing like the blood pressure, the eye test, the hearing test, the EKGs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and I remember when I went out to San Diego, and for my 2 weeks I went out to Coronado, and all of a sudden these naval personnel come in, and I'm doing all the blood pressure and the heart rate and the monitor, and the heart rate's like at like 45 beats a minute, and I'm like hitting the machine. I'm like, something's wrong with it, and I go out and I get somebody. They go, Manny. They go, these are special people. These are Naval SEALs. And I was like, I gotcha. Their blood pressure was low. Their heart rate was low. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Uh,
Yeah.
where are you from? Where are you from? Or also, like, where do you live now?
Yeah, I was born in Niagara Falls on the American side, and when I was 4 years old, we moved down to Long Island, on the North Shore, midpoint out in a town called East-Setauket.
Yeah.
I went to Ward Melville High School, and I did live in Florida for 13 years after, doing going to boot camp and all that. And then I came back, and right now I live in Patchogue, which is basically south of where I lived on Long Island before. And before I was here over a year ago, I was living in a homeless veteran shelter called the Beacon House here on Long Island. So
Really?
I was, we go through our ups and downs, and
Yep.
I was very grateful for, I'm very grateful for all the veteran organizations, and I'm not afraid to say that I lived at a homeless veteran shelter, and they helped me out. They found a place for me, and I have my own apartment, and I'm very, very grateful. And the thing with going to Ward Melville High School, that's where Kevin James went to high school too, the comedian.
Yep.
And so I went there. I think he graduated 83. I graduated 92. And after I took a comedy class when I was doing really bad. And
Yeah.
after I took that comedy class, after 7 weeks, I went to see Kevin perform at a place here on Long Island called the Westbury Music Fair. And before he performed, I took a picture of the stage. It's a round theater. It seats 3,000 people. And I posted up to Facebook, and I said, one day. And then after he performed, I met him outside and said hello, and I do comedy. And you know how people are. They're like, good luck. And
Yeah.
so, but anyway, I went home and used to walk around outside down the ramp and pretend I was walking in a circle like Kevin was. And then, long story short, 3 years later, I performed at that same theater that Kevin James performed at. And
Nice.
not only did I perform there, but Kevin James was backstage in my dressing room it was just all so surreal, you know.
Yeah. No,
So
that's amazing.
yeah, yeah, that is, it really is. You visualize it, you know, and when you visualize it and then it actually happens, you're like, wow. And yeah, I'm a part of a veteran organization here on Long Island that does helps veteran through the arts and stuff. And one of them is comedy, and I've been teaching comedy to military veterans. I don't know everything, just such as life, but I
Yeah.
just teach what I learned in class and what I also learn out on my own, and then these guys come in and you know how some veterans can be.
Yep.
They could be really upset and really one guy was afraid to even get up and talk in front of class. And at the end of class, he got up and talked.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the 7 weeks, he got up and performed and he showed up. He looked like Brad Pitt. He was handsome and he was funny. It was hysterical. He said it was the best day of his life.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely amazing. I mean, again, to be able to perform in that and be able to see Kevin James, and be able to say you said that to him 3 years ago, and then be able to meet him and all this. That's, I mean, you probably. What was your thoughts of like thinking? Were you thinking that you were gonna do that, or was it like it might happen, or it's I'm hoping that it happens, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Did you ever think of any of that?
Yeah, well, obviously there's self-doubt with everything
Yeah.
but I saw it and I visualized it. And then I remember just walking out my back door every day, several times a day, because at the time I was smoking cigarettes too. I quit cold turkey, which I don't recommend, but if you do, I don't hold any judgment. But I used to, and I just used to do it. I used to say, like when I started 11 years ago in comedy, at a low point in my life, I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to go for it. But I said, and I want to perform at Westbury.
Yeah.
And I said, one day I want a late night spot too, like a 5-minute late night spot somewhere on TV. And that hasn't happened yet. But I got the Westbury part. And then I thought about it and I thought about it and I just used to think, and I used to listen to The Secret too. And I still do sometimes. I still have the audio books. And I try to stay out of the drama of things and stuff because we go through our own things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even like my brother wrote a note. He goes, no matter what happens, don't ever give up comedy. There were times I didn't know where a meal was coming. There were times I didn't have a ride. But I would still show up at an open mic at a bar or a restaurant or a music open mic and just practice. And then to be told, and I found out I was going to perform at this place by the same people who said that they were going to also put me up at the Borgata in Atlantic City, to perform there as well. And they actually, on the day that my mother passed away, they asked me if I wanted to perform at Westbury. And I said yes. And all because Bobby Collins, a comedian, couldn't do it. So I got the spot,
I'm sorry to hear that your mother passing away and all that, but it was, also it sounds like, you got, the opportunity to also play at that place. And, did you ever get put up at the Borgata?
Yeah, I did the Borgata. Like I was in my first year of comedy. I get a call from Richie and Darcy, and they said I'm going to be performing at the Borgata. They just started booking the Borgata. So I was trying out with all these comics who were 10, 20, 30-year, 40-year veterans in a restaurant here on Long Island at Piccola Bussola in Huntington. It's the old Chuckles Comedy Club. And I was in a year, and these guys were killing it. And I went up there and I mumbled jumbled for like 8 minutes, and unfortunately I didn't get the spot right away. but
Yep.
in my last week of my 4th year of my journey, I performed for a week, 7 nights straight at the Borgata in Atlantic City, in front of, I think it's like 968 people. And you walk out, you want to, when you have anxiety, PTSD, depression, and all this other stuff, and then you walk out in front of people, it's amazing. It's like the anxiety goes up and everything, but it's like excitement. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like being surrounded by people, but I can go out in front of people and I could talk to you socially and stuff, but I just can't be around too many people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if I get nervous, I hold the mic stand, and I just do it. Believe me, there's times I just want to run off.
Yeah.
But you can't,
Yeah.
but it's when you get a laugh, it's the best, and to make other people laugh,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
When you make other people laugh, it's like it makes you laugh and it makes you happy that you've succeeded at what you wanted to happen.
Right.
It's like you keep running with it. So, I mean, I get it, I understand, and that is, it's nice to hear that you can accept that you have the doubt sometimes. But you don't give up the fight to keep to try to succeed at it.
Right.
It's just
Like-
it's just like the mission for military people. It's you keep pushing for the mission, and you won't accept defeat. You want the victory, and
Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
And I'm still going for it. I'm still going to go for a late night spot. But you know what? If I don't make it, or if no one knows me and I'm not famous, I'm okay. At
Yeah.
least I can say I tried. But I'm okay with it. I'm not in competition with no one. I'm not in competition with any veterans. I'm not in competition with any organizations or any comedians.
Yeah.
But if something good happens, then good on me. Good for me,
No, absolutely, and that's amazing. That you have that, and then you're able to admit, even regarding the whole thing of living in a veteran homeless shelter.
Yeah.
I myself is the same way. I've had to live in that. It was temporarily, but I knew in
Right.
my head it was gonna be temporarily because
Right.
you can't hold me down and can't tell me I'm a failure. I'm gonna succeed and I'm gonna push on, even though I'm down at my lowest point, but I'm not at the top of my game.
Yeah. When your own family doesn't even want to take you in, you know what I mean? Like, and it's
Yeah.
like, it's just so weird. And then these people, someone makes a phone call. What I find, it's veterans helping veterans, and through word of mouth. But I'm also thankful for the VA, and
Yeah.
I'm thankful for all the military veterans who served before us, way before us, and those that sacrificed their lives and lost. Because of them, we were able to live in this country that has all this stuff, and also we're able to have VA benefits because of them before us.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
and then other organizations out there that are, that correlate together for veterans and stuff. So, and when you're down and out, and you get your own family doesn't take you in, and or doesn't, or I don't want to put it on it, but they basically say no, and then what do you got? And then a veteran makes a phone call, and there you are, you're accepted to this, and then all of a sudden they lead you in this direction, that direction. Like,
Yep.
I'm grateful. I just met with my my counselor at the VA today. We
Yep.
just had a nice meeting, and I let her know how grateful I am.
No, absolutely. And then It's the same again. Same thing even here. It's the whole thing of I went through the was it chapter 30, 32 I think it was
Uh-huh.
to get my CDL license. I'm
Yeah.
grateful that the VA paid for that. That's $9 grand. You know,
Right.
then
Yeah.
they also paid for my hoisting license. Which that
Right.
again is another I think it was like $180 to initially
Right.
get it. So again, those things, it's
When we don't have it,
yeah,
you're like, oh, and then the VA helps you out. You're like, oh my God, you pinch yourself. You're like, is this real?
yeah,
You know,
yep, no,
good for
absolutely.
good for you that you got that worked out for you.
And again, yeah, no, absolutely. And again, I tell everybody about it. Every veteran that I run into, and they say, well, the VA doesn't do this, VA doesn't do that. It's like, okay, well, have you checked with this? Have you, tried this? Have you done this? Have you followed up with the doctors? Have you followed up with, your VSO?
Right.
That's what the VSOs are there for, you know.
Right.
And when I hear stories of veterans have to get, pay money for lawyers, it's like, wait, why are you
Right.
paying for a lawyer when you have a VSO that can do that, that can
Right.
do
Right.
what you need to happen, um,
Right.
you know. But again, it comes down to it's some people don't do the research and realize that there's free stuff out there for the veterans, But it goes back to what you said, as you hit it right on the head of it. It goes back to the veterans before us that, we're able to have these services because, again, without all that happening before,
Right.
we wouldn't
We
have what
would
we have.
there, there wouldn't be any VA without the veterans before us. All
Correct.
those that sacrificed their lives and you name it, all those, and the ones unfortunately that are still that and in the future that will they made the VA,
Yeah.
and that's why we're able to utilize, you and I and others who
Yeah.
are connected, service connected in ways, and or even not service connected to still help,
Yeah. No, absolutely. Because again, it's always great to be able to have it service connected. And this is where I told even my lower enlisted, I'm like, listen up. That's me stomping my foot. It's gonna be who of you to listen up, and it's like
Right.
make sure you document everything. Cover your end. You go
Right.
and get a sick call slip, and it's because your knee or your back or your hearing. Make sure you document it.
Right.
Don't make me come with my NCO hand and just chop you right in half. You know,
Right.
it's not up to me. It's up to you, and just it's up to me
Right.
to educate you on it.
Right.
And that's why I tell everybody. It's like make sure you document everything. Make sure you do what you need to do. Cover your end so that when you get out, you have these things, so you can
Right.
apply for benefits. You know,
Yeah.
if you don't have any documentations for it, and you didn't go to see the doctor, or you said, "Oh, I'll just wait until my next unit," and then you get out and you have no documentation,
Right.
it's not good.
Yeah. Yeah. I
You know?
just I performed at a golf outing for a cancer fundraiser. It was just me under a tent on a rainy day, and then one of the guys that came over to me, still active duty, flies a black helicopter, and he flew a bunch of missions where some people out of battle, even some people unfortunately didn't make it out of battle. And this guy is like, and he was talking. He's like, I gotta get acclimated with the VA and everything. And we were
Yeah.
talking about that, and he's working on that. So, and here's someone who's been in it for like, 20 something years, so.
Yeah, and again, there's there's programs that I tell people again about. There is another organization that is called RTAG. That's RTAG. They help veterans that want to get their private pilot's license. They help them with it. They help to pay for it.
Wow.
And if they were, say, a Black Hawk helicopter pilot and they want to get their helicopter license, they will actually pay for that. They will help. If they want to become a commercial pilot for an airline company, they also will pay for those too. They do so much, and they raise so much money that I can't tell you. It's absolutely amazing how many awards they get out to people. On top of that, when they have their convention every year in October, they have these major airline companies like American, Delta, JetBlue, and all that at the convention to do interviews and to give the individual a contingency agreement for employment. As long as they have these steps done, they will do it.
Wow.
I mean, who in their right mind would think that would be an option out there?
Yeah.
I didn't realize it until I found it.
Right, exactly. You wouldn't. Yeah. Talking about the convention, the VFW National Convention that was supposed to take place in Reno, Nevada during COVID.
Yep.
I was going to perform comedy there. They contacted me and a group of veterans that I teach comedy to, and there was 4 of us that they were flying us out there. They were gonna put us up in a hotel. They were gonna give us a nice fee for it, And unfortunately, COVID happened, and they said approximately we would be performing in front of approximately 5,000 people from the VFW and other organizations. And it never happened, but we did do something on Facebook, but it's not the same thing, you know?
No, real and person stuff is never going to be the same as being online. Those two things will never be the same. It's not the same feeling. It's nothing the same. Nothing anywhere near the same. But we were so excited, for example, with my mental illness, I used to go to an outpatient mental health clinic here on Long Island too. And one of the jokes that I say is the reason why I went is because lunch was $1. And that's why I brought $10. So that's what I say about that. But one time they asked me to perform for them, right? Yeah.
So, and you got to do it clean. Before I performed, the CEO came out. He goes, I know the owner of the Mohegan Sun. I go, oh, cool. He goes, do you want to send me a tape that I could send to him? I go, okay. So all of a sudden, the next day, I get a phone call from the owner of the Comics Roadhouse, Mohegan Sun. I got your message, got the message from the CEO. I saw your tape. We're going to put you up here on a Wednesday night. You're going to perform for a pro open mic, and we'll see you then. So the outpatient mental health clinic gave me a scholarship. So I got transportation up there. I also got a hotel room up there, and I was so excited. I was this was before Westbury and the Borgata. This was in my second year of comedy, or the beginning of my third year. And I go up there on a Wednesday. I get there early, and the owner goes, yeah, this is a pro open mic. He goes, I saw your stuff. You're good. He goes, some are good, some are bad. He goes, we'll see how you do. See you when you come back. And that's how it was. That's how it is. Because when you do comedy, people are like, yeah, whatever, Yeah. And then I come back and I see I'm going first, and I was nervous. And then I got off stage, and the owner came into the green room after I was done, in front of all the comics, going, how you doing? How you feeling? I go, great. That was so much fun. I can't wait to go back up. He goes, don't worry, you're going back up. And he said that in front of the other comics, and then went out to the table that was there for me, which I didn't have to bring anybody. And he goes, how many minutes can this guy do? And because of that performance, I was able to bring back other veterans with me twice a year for like 3 years in a row. And do you
Wow.
know how exciting it was for to do that for them? Yes, it's exciting for me the first time, but I wanted that same feeling for all these other veterans
Yeah.
who could barely even talk in front of anybody, and now they're performing in front of a club, and we do it on all the the veterans holidays and stuff,
Yeah.
so but unfortunately, the last time I heard from him, he said, I want you to come back 3 times a year, and then we haven't heard from them since. So, but who knows? Maybe, something else will come along.
Yeah. I mean, they made a bit switch to ownership. I mean, I know
Yeah,
these places switch,
yeah,
people left and right like
yeah,
there's no tomorrow.
yeah,
But you never know. Always give them a
yeah,
shot and give them a shout. See,
yeah.
those are the things.
Can't hurt to ask. I try not to ask. Like I always go by word of mouth,
Yeah.
like do the assisted living homes,
Yeah.
and I do skilled nursing and
Overextend yourself. Don't make sure you don't, cause yourself to, think of other stuff. I'm like, no, this does the exact opposite. This makes me feel very good, relaxed. It
yeah,
gets me to talking like I'm normally talking to other veterans.
yeah,
I said, that's what it basically does for me. And she goes,
right,
that's good. Um, you
yeah.
know, so
And like my brother says to me, no matter what happens, whether we have a house or not, or food or not, car or not, or whatever, if we have everything or if we don't have anything, let's keep doing this. Let's keep crawling to this. And this is right now what it is, what you love to do and what
yeah.
I love to do, and to be able to talk about it too.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you say you're going to be down in Naples towards the end of the year. Where
Yeah.
do you? So you said also, I think before we got on, you're going to be at the end of August or beginning of September. I think you said you're going to be up here, up in this area, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm actually looking at the my buddy and Dave Russo. I performed with him recently. He won the Boston Comedy Festival years ago.
Yep.
He said he said he's thinking August 30th. He said September 2nd he has Skippies in Cape Cod, and then the 30th is Wamisit Lanes. So
Okay.
it looks like the September 2nd and the 30th. Around that time, I'll have a couple shows up there. It'll be on my tugboatmanny.com website, and
Yep.
then Naples, Florida. Supposedly right now is December 18th and 19th. It's like a Wednesday and Thursday, but I have to guarantee it.
Yeah.
So
So I mean that's gonna be good because the Wallops Lane is, and I believe that's the Tewksbury.
Oh, okay.
I believe
Yep.
that's
Yeah.
Tewksbury. Um,
Okay.
so that's definitely not too far from me, at all.
Oh, great. That would. Oh, how great would that
So
be?
that's definitely doable. So I'll definitely keep an eye out for that. Um,
Yeah.
you know, my question for you as well is, how far are you from Riverhead Speedway?
Not that far. Probably, like I was thinking, to tell you the truth, I wanted to go to the New Balance outlet in Riverhead, and
Yep.
it's here. Watch this. I'm gonna do this right now. It's called the Riverhead Speedway, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna put it. I'll let you know right now. Hang on, just give me 1 second. Riverhead Speed Speedway, Riverhead. It is.
Let's go. Turn right.
I am 35 minutes away. It's 25 miles away.
Really? That is
Yeah.
not. Because what it is, I have a race team that's in Long Island.
Really?
We do track day for veterans. And so.
Really?
Yep. I've got two open spots. August 24th
Okay.
and September 28th.
Hang on, let me look. August 24th is a Saturday, and September 28th is a Saturday.
Yep.
And what times are these?
I want to say the gates open, I think, around noontime.
Yeah,
And then
if you're-
the races start around. I want to say the practices and all that happen throughout the afternoon. So the heat, the main events and stuff, are going to be around 4 or 5 o'clock. Give or
Gotcha.
take.
Okay.
Um,
I could do. I have August 24th.
August 24th.
Yes.
All right, I'll put you down, and you want me to? We can schedule this later on with everything else. But
Yeah.
it will be paid. That will be paid for you. You will be my honoree for that race to participate, and be there for the track day for veterans.
Awesome.
Paid-
It would be
paid-
my honor.
Everything paid for. So you'll be all
Oh,
set.
thank you. Yeah, we'll message each other after this and
Ab-
go over the particulars. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
So no, absolutely, and this is again, this is what I do. I do it for is giving back to the veterans.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Before
And go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, it's like my birthday present. My birthday is August 28th.
Well, happy early
Is it-
birthday.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Not a problem, and it's my honor to do this, and this is one of the things that again, like I said, we do here
Yeah.
with Fubar Studios Veteran Reinforcement. Is have the track day for veterans, and it's where racing
Yeah.
meets freedom, and we've got so much in the works. I'm not going to even talk about that at this point.
Okay.
I'm gonna just be released. I'll be releasing that here shortly more because I've got
Okay.
more to come on this, and
Awesome.
I don't want to ruin the surprise for later on for everybody.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Oh, and I'll get you. We'll get some swag for you.
Yeah.
We got swag from the team, and we got swag that we give out to the track day for veterans, honorees, and all that.
Awesome.
This is one of them. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
That's the challenge coins we have, and it has us on
Yep.
the back
Yeah.
on the back of it. So.
Oh,
That's one of the gifts that you will get.
yep.
But that's absolutely amazing that we can definitely partner up with that and get you there.
Yeah.
But before we end it, because we're getting to
Yeah.
the end of this show and everything, is other than you wanting to do, stand up, being a stand up comedian, a stand up comedian and all that, what really kind of pushed you in the direction of doing this, being, choosing to go into stand up comedian stuff?
Uh, I gotta tell you, I guess at an early age I found out that, humor was a coping skill and stuff. And then, my uncle was always very humorous with me, and I remember watching Benny Hill with my father, and then of course Rodney Dangerfield and Will Ferrell, and I always used to like imitate people and whatnot. But people always said, why don't you? And then all of a sudden, I go to a fundraiser for my cousin's baseball team, and the comedian has me laughing so hard that after we talk, and he says he teaches a comedy class. So I took it, and
Yep.
then I guess that kind of steered me. I want to say that I've always been this person. It's just now that I do it on stage.
Yeah.
I like to make people laugh. I like to make people smile. I like to spread the love. And in my own little social network, it's hard for me to trust others, so I trust very few. But this opening up and being vulnerable and self-deprecating about myself helps me, telling people that I take Prozac, telling people that I have mental issues, telling people, I said I went to the doctor and a nurse asked me for my height and weight, and I said I'm 5'10", and then she said, "And how tall are you?" That's one of my jokes. But it's from a true story,
Yeah.
because I went to a doctor 2 days in a row, and
Yep.
they said, "How tall? What's your height and weight?" So right when you go to the doctor, the nurse says, "What's your height and weight?" I go 5'10", 290. The second day in a row, I go 5'10". I go, "Hold on a second here." So I came up with that,
Yeah. No,
But I've always been a goof.
yeah. No, that's
And
honest.
I've always laughed, whether crying, sadness, being happy. I've cried happy for people. I've cried being sad. I cried lonely, and I've laughed, and you just hey, look, laughter besides is the best medicine besides Prozac to me.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. And
Yeah.
the final question for you is,
Yes.
what can you say to the viewers, or your fans, supporters, whatnot, whatever you want to consider them be? What would you like to say to them if you could say, something, today?
Oh, I mean, out of all the nice compliments that I get, from the people that have seen me perform or have met me, is that I just want to say that it makes me feel so good to be able to make my fans laugh and to make them feel good and to do it in my comedic way, which is without vulgar or profanity, because I get a lot of compliments that way. And just to help people to forget about life for a while, they inspire me to keep going. And not just the fans, the haters too, because sometimes you need that wood to put on the fire. You can't get too comfortable. So I got to thank them too. Thank you for closing doors on me. Thank you for saying no. And thank you for telling me I can't. And thank you for the future. But to the fans, I truly am very grateful for them, because they give me the chills. I go by so many people and they go, "Tugboat Manny," and I won't know their names.
Yeah.
And they talk to me like that. I know them. And I'm like, wow, it's just so awesome.
Yeah.
It really is awesome. I have a small little following, and I'm truly grateful for them. And hopefully one day the whole world can hear my voice, and I could be an advocate for mental health, both on and off a stage, in front of the whole world, and that would be a nice bucket list wish, you know, and to make people smile and laugh and just spread the love, you know.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and that's absolutely awesome. So all the viewers, you guys can find him and get the tour date, like tours and all that, where he's gonna be playing at tugboatmanny.com. The link will be down below. Show your support. Go and follow him if you can find them on Facebook and all that. We'll put all those links down below. But show your support, and definitely, if he's in your area, go check him out. Buy those tickets. Spread the love, and again, Tugboat Manny, we appreciate you coming on this evening. You know, it's been an absolute honor to have you on and talk about, your life and talk about, your career and stuff like that.
Thank you, and much respect to all veterans, near and far, and all those before us who sacrificed their lives, and those who continue and will continue.
Absolutely.
Forever grateful. And thank you to you for what you do, and thank you for my birthday present.
Oh, absolutely. Anytime, brother. I appreciate it. And, I'm going to have Beavis and Butthead take it over from here, and they can tell me what they think about how I handled this show this evening. All right.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.
It was an honor.
Thank you for supporting Homeland Heroes Salute podcast. Please make sure to like and follow Homeland Heroes on all of their social media outlets. Homeland Heroes Salute podcast is a Fubar Studios Sinista1 co-production.